Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, this is iRadio Afternoon News. First, here are the headlines. The Commissioner of Moroba County in Central Equatorial State has dismissed reports of renewed fighting along the South Sudan-Uganda border as inaccurate. The Assistant Inspector General for CID and Crime Prevention has ordered an immediate halt to unauthorized inspections of shops by police officers in Juba's markets. And Vice President Dr. Benjamin Bolmel says he has a strategic meeting with Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni during his visit to Kampala to attend regional talks on security. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin. With me, Hellen Samuel. Now, the news in detail. The Commissioner of Moroba County in Central Equatorial State has dismissed reports of renewed fighting along the South Sudan-Uganda border as inaccurate. Charles Data Bullen said there has been no fresh fighting at the border, contrary to recent reports in Uganda media. His comments came after the Ugandan government relocated South Sudanese refugees from Koboko border areas to settlements further inland. According to Ugandan media, the relocation followed reported clashes between government forces and opposition groups near the border. However, Commissioner Bullen clarified that the movements were linked to earlier incidents. However, Commissioner Bullen says there have not been such incidents at the border with Uganda. He was speaking to iRadio on Thursday.
Action. It is due to the lasting clashes between the IO and the government forces, which happened in Panime, and these people took shelter in the bordering area. And currently they wanted to make sure that people who cross from South Sudan should not be in the border. It's not something new.
Morobo County, located at the southern tip of Central Equatorial State, has experienced an increase in security in recent months. In early April, fighting in the area displaced more than 7,000 people, mostly women, children, and the elderly, who sought refuge in schools, churches, and other shelters. The Assistant Inspector General for CID and Crime Prevention has ordered an immediate halt to unauthorized inspections of shops by police officers in Juba's markets. Lieutenant General Akok Nun Akok says the operations are illegal and harmful to business operations. In an internal directive dated May 9th, later seen by iRadio, Akok warned officers under his command to refrain from such activities and urged them to exercise professionalism in enforcing the law. The directives reads, and I quote, "I have noticed that our officers and personnel from CID and Crimes Prevention are conducting daily inspections of shops in Juba markets, which is completely unacceptable. These activities must be stopped immediately as they negatively impact the business environment. Our officers and personnel must demonstrate professionalism in enforcing the law," end quote. He further warned that any CID officer or personnel suspected of misconduct or illegal activity in the markets would face immediate investigation. Lieutenant General Akok stressed that the image and credibility of South Sudan National Police Service must be protected and called for urgent compliance with his orders. The warning comes amid complaints by business owners about alleged harassment by law enforcement personnel in some parts of the capital. The Minister of Agriculture says 104 tractors received in April from the Ministry of Finance will be distributed to agricultural associations and cooperatives and not to individuals. Abdelbagi Akol Ayi says this move aims to strengthen organized farming and increase productivity across the country. He made this announcement after meeting President Salva Kiir on Thursday. During the meeting, Minister Ayi briefed President Kiir on the government's master plan to revitalize the agriculture starting this planting season. Minister Ayi says President Kiir directed his ministry to speed up investment in agriculture sector to improve the livelihoods of farmers and boost local food production. He was speaking on the state television SSBC last evening.
سندت واستعدادنا على مؤتمر الزراعة القومية وأنا نورت برضو على كيفية نحن نتعامل مع عدد بتاع البابورات التركترات الجو لموسم بتاع الزراعة. نحن بالحقيقة اتفقنا مع السيد الرئيس إنه التركترات ده ما ندو لأفراد، التركترات يدو لمجموعات بتاع تعاونيات ونحن ندعمه بالتركتر وندعمه بالبذور المحسنة وندعمه بالجاز. ورئيس وعدنا إنه نحن نجيب معه ويدعم وزارة الزراعة. برضو نحن ناورناه بغرض بتاع زيارتنا لبرازيل اتفاقات نحن نوقع معه برضو اتفاقات في مجالات مختلفة وفي غرض بتاع دعم الزراعة.
Minister Ayi also revealed that the government will supply essential inputs such as seeds and fuel to accompany the tractors. He further said the service centers for the tractors will be set up in all states and administrative areas to maintain the machinery and extend its operational life. In May 2015, President Kiir donated 1,000 tractors to the Ministry of Agriculture as part of an early initiative to boost food production. Vice President Dr. Benjamin Bolmel says he has a strategic meeting with Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni during his visit to Kampala to attend regional talks on security. Excuse me. Vice President Mel arrived in Juba on Thursday after attending the 12th high-level meeting of the Regional Oversight Mechanism, ROM, of the Peace, Security and Cooperation Framework for the Democratic Republic of Congo on Wednesday. The meeting brought together top leaders from Angola, Burundi, Congo, the DRC, Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa, and South Sudan. According to the Office of the Vice President and Chairperson of the Economic Cluster, before his return, the Vice President held a strategic meeting with Ugandan President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. At the meeting, he is said to have further articulated South Sudan's diplomatic positions on the situations in the DRC and Sudan and provided an update on the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement at home. The statement reads, and I quote, These engagements will ultimately position our nation as a rising force in geopolitics and a top destination for investment, which will open doors for opportunities that directly benefit our citizens. End quote. The regional leaders discussed, among other issues, recent developments in the Great Lakes region, particularly on security and humanitarian issues in the region, including ongoing peace efforts to address the crisis in eastern DRC. In a joint communique, they called on member states to strictly adhere to the peace, security, and cooperation agreement and to respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. According to the statement, Vice President Mel and Foreign Minister Mande Simaya Kumba also held several high-level sideline engagements with regional leaders. You're listening to news coming to you from iRadio. The communities of Nyamini and Lodimi in Ladupayam, Juba County, have begun the allocation of over 22,000 plots of land for residential and investment purposes. The announcement was made during a community event held on Tuesday, which brought together area leaders, including executive chiefs, local chiefs, and residents of the area. According to the organizers, the land distribution encompasses over 22,700 plots in a peaceful area situated approximately 12 miles northwest of Juba City. Alemin Sebit Tombe is the chairperson of the Ilikare and Kuda Lodimi Association Ladupayam. He says the distribution of land is meant to address the growing urban housing demand in Juba.
الإجراء بتاعت التخطيط كان فوق 22,000 توكن أو سكن بلس 1091 investment بلس مدارس بلس مستشفيات وكنائس وعندنا 2 مقابر موجود هنا في دبكة جنوب الشارع دل على فائدة بتاع بشر بأن الإنسان بولده وبرجع. أنت ما ممكن تخلي زولك تخوض في محل ما منظم، لازم في وقت ده ناس تنظموا محل، يعني أصلا عارفين ربنا بيدونا وربنا بيرجعوا.
Olympio Lokodu Pitia, the chairman of Kuda Lodimi Boma, said the land was initially planned to be located in 2020 but was delayed due to a dispute between the neighboring Lori and Ladupayams.
Today, we are opening this place officially. We open it officially as gathered here and presented by the ancestral fathers and grandmothers who are allocating this place to us. Now, those who wish to have a land in Yamini, let them run and come and get it.
التخطيط كان فوق 22,000 توكن أو سكن بلس 1091 investment بلس مدارس بلس مستشفيات وكنائس وعندنا 2 مقابر موجود هنا في دبكة جنوب الشارع دل على فائدة بتاع بشر بأن الإنسان بولده وبرجع. أنت ما ممكن تخلي زولك تخوض في محل ما منظم، لازم في وقت ده ناس تنظموا محل، يعني أصلا عارفين ربنا بيدونا وربنا بيرجعوا.
Meanwhile, Foni Barnaba Soka, a women's representative, says she is glad the community took the initiative to make land available to the public.
Today, we are opening this place officially. We open it officially as gathered here and presented by the ancestral fathers and grandmothers who are allocating this place to us. Now, those who wish to have a land in Yamini, let them we are opening this place officially. We open it officially as gathered here and presented by the ancestral fathers and grandmothers who are allocating this place to us. Now, those who wish to have a land in Yamini, let them run and come and get it. It is peacefully, without any because. Therefore, audience, listeners outside Juba, inside Juba, within South Sudan, listen very carefully that Nyamini is for all. Not for one tribe, not for one entity, but for all. 64 tribes are living in Nyamini and they have the papers of Nyamini. We are not to discriminate who is who, but all of us has to come and dwell here. All of us have to dwell well.
And an elder from Ilikare in Kuta Lodimi also encouraged South Sudanese across the country to acquire land in the area, emphasizing the need for unity and peaceful coexistence. The community leadership says the plots are available for both residential use and commercial investments, with the aim of promoting development and accommodating the growing population. You are listening to iRadio News. Now let's take a look at some of the stories trending across the globe.
Thanks, Hellen. Samuel. On the international arena, a suspect wanted for the murder of a South African university student was killed in a shootout with the police. The man was linked to the death of Olarato Mangale, whose body was found in Johannesburg on Sunday, about 2 hours after she was reported missing, having gone on a date. Police spokesperson Atlanta Mathe said in the early hours of Friday morning, police officers found the main suspect hiding at a residential complex in the coastal town of Amanzimtoti. The suspect, who has not been named by the police, shot at the officers, who returned fire and killed him. Flights were temporarily disrupted at Liberia's main airport on Thursday night after a private jet carrying President Joseph Boakai almost crashed while landing. Part of the presidential jet's landing gear malfunctioned while approaching the runway, causing a rough landing, according to the airport authorities. President Boakai, who was returning from a trip in Nigeria with his entourage, was safely evacuated unharmed as authorities announced an investigation. Finally, Israel's far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir said it is time to use full force in Gaza. Addressing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu directly, Ben-Gvir said there are now no excuses, claiming that Hamas has rejected a ceasefire deal. As a reminder, a serious Hamas official has said that a U.S. plan for a ceasefire in Gaza fails to meet its core demands, but it will continue to study the proposals. Ben-Gvir said the confusion, the shuffling, and the weakness must end, adding that Israel has already missed too many opportunities. That's all making headlines on the global arena. Back to you, Hellen Samuel.
Thanks, Lasuba Memo, for the update of stories making headlines in the international arena. You are still listening to iRadio News. Emmanuel Joseph Akile is here with the sports news.
In South Sudan Premier League yesterday, the title remains up for grabs as Jammus FC reached to 65 points after beating last place Nile City, who have only 5 points. With another postponed matches still to play, Jammus has a clear chance to clinch the championship. Al Merrikh Bentiu beat Bentiu City 2-1 in a derby at the national level. Elsewhere, Trent Alexander-Arnold will become a Real Madrid player on Sunday after Liverpool accepted a fee to release the defender early from his contract. The move means the England right back will join the Spanish side in time to play in the Club World Cup. Alexander-Arnold, who had already confirmed he would leave Liverpool this summer, has agreed a 6-year deal. The 26-year-old would have been able to leave Liverpool on a free transfer when his contract expired on 30th June. A former Royal Marine has arrived at court where he will face charges over the Liverpool parade crash in which 79 people were injured. Paul Doyle, 53, from Bunkhill Road in West Derby, was arrested on Monday when a car overturned into fans at Liverpool's Premier League victory celebration, police said. A 9-year-old was among those hurt when the car hit supporters on Water Street. And finally, on the red dirt of Roland Garros, a young man making his debut at the French Open is making an increasingly big noise amid the quiet revolution in Scottish tennis. Jacob is poised to break into the world's top 50. He is projected to slot in at number 48 when it is next published after defeating home favorite Ugo Humbert. That's all from the World Sport.
Thanks, Emmanuel Joseph Akile, for the sports updates. You are listening to iRadio News. To end this bulletin, here is a recap of the headlines. The Commissioner of Morobo County in Central Equatorial State has dismissed reports of renewed fighting along the South Sudan-Uganda border as inaccurate. The Assistant Inspector General for CID and Crime Prevention has ordered an immediate halt to unauthorized inspections of shops by police officers in Juba's markets. And Vice President Dr. Benjamin Bolmel says he has a strategic meeting with Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni during his visit to Kampala to attend regional talks on security. And that's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. If there is a story or an event you like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287 870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1:30. I'm Hellen Samuel. Thank you for listening.